What is going on, Torontonian, Raptonian, Fanzonians? The Toronto Raptors have done it again, beaten up on Miami. I was going to say, I'm going to Miami. I'll go to Miami all day long if we're going to beat them down. Although, what happened on Friday in Miami, not great. But hey, Raptors at home. RJ Barrett said he saw what he needed to see. He saw that the turnovers is what killed them. He saw that we needed to get, more in Tyler Hero and Robinson's face, stop them from going crazy from the 3 point line. But most importantly, turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. The Raptors came out in this game without a single turnover in the first quarter, and we were up by, I don't know what it was, five, six, something like that. Oh, actually, I can tell you right now, we were up 30, we were up by 10, 34-24 after the first quarter. Yeah, beautifully played. The rest of the game, a little bit tighter. They beat us in the second quarter. We beat them in the third by 6, but in the fourth, they actually outscored us 29-21. We were just lucky that we already had a big enough lead at that point. I mean, man, it was up to like 12, and it just started to dwindle and dwindle and dwindle. And it was feeling like, oh no, here's another Raptors game where we're winning 98% of the game. And then in the last 40 seconds, we screw it all up. But thank goodness we managed to hang on. But yeah, Duncan Robinson held to 8. Tyler Hero had 31. Oh yeah, yeah. But Mr. Butler held to 17, and Bam Adebayo, which I still think is an overrated player, only ended up with 13. But man, RJ Barrett, is RJ Barrett the greatest Raptor that we have right now? I think he might be. I think he's quickly becoming my favorite Toronto Raptor. It's hard to believe that I'm saying that about a former New York Knick, but he's a homeboy. He's a Toronto boy, like Mississauga, technically. If we're gonna, split hairs. But man, the guy can do it all. 37 points today. I mean, I don't even need to talk about the rest of his stats. Yeah, he had 5 assists and 7 rebounds, but who cares? 37 points. This guy is averaging at home as a Raptor like 29 plus. Uh, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Guy's draining threes. In fact, I think he was. Oh yeah, he took one in the mid there, but 3 of 4 from three, phenomenal. 15 of 20 from the floor, and he was at the free throw line 4 times and hit all four. So these are the problems that we have with Toronto Raptor players in general. Not creative, can't get their own buckets. This guy doesn't seem like plays a run for him. Okay, yes, once in a while you can tell they definitely are setting him up for a play, but most of the time he's getting his buckets in transition on fast breaks. He takes it to the hole and seems to be able to from nowhere, no matter where he wants to start at the top of the 3 point line. He'll just break you down. And I've even seen him going right a couple times lately. He's not just going to his left, but man, under the baskets, cuts, and then when he needs to, he's just draining the three. I mean, even at the end of the game, there was pretty funny. Scotty Barnes pulled up for a three, bricked it, and there were a couple of other weird like turnovery. Scotty Barnes sometimes I think he's a big boy in there, so sometimes I think his own bulkiness kind of gets in the way of his finesse game. But he was handing it off back and forth to RJ. It was like, oh, I just screwed it up. Actually, RJ, maybe you should take it because you're the one, in crunch time pulling these games out for us. So we ended up pulling it out. Thank goodness. Scotty did hit one of his 2 free throws there at the very end to sort of seal the deal. He missed his first. Anyway, but yeah, it's clear the Raptors just need to work on turnovers. We got to get healthy, though. I mean, still, it's ridiculous. No Emmanuel Quickly, no Grady Dick in this game. Still no Bruce Brown all year, even though he says he was only playing on one leg last year. And I need to see this man in a Raptor uniform because you got to be honest. I saw a little bit of him on Denver in the finals a couple of years ago, but it's not like I was watching Denver Nugget games on a regular. And I'm certainly not watching when he was on the Pacers, even though Pascal went over there. I don't have time to be sitting there watching Indiana Pacer games and checking out how Bruce Brown's doing off the bench, especially when there was no sign he was ever going to be a Raptor. So why the heck would we have done that? But my point is, I need to see this man post surgery. So in his words, he can prove that he does want to be here in Toronto and wants to contribute, whether or not it's short term contribution to potentially get himself traded and out of here. We'll find out. And still Kelly Olynyk. I mean, I was actually at a friend of mine's house today, and he's asking, "Is Olynyk ever coming back? Like, are these guys viable? Or are they useful players? Or are they going to help improve the Raptors when they come back?" And you can already see that, we've got things like Bruno Fernando not playing because he's kind of decided that he's sticking Mogbo into the backup center role when Pirtle comes out, which is fine with me. I mean, I don't think Mogbo killed it on points. What did he end up with? Yeah, 3 points, but I thought he had a couple rebounds, just eye test wise. Yeah, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. That's not horrible. And Mogbo's, he's growing on me a little bit. Um, yeah, he did attempt that 1 3, missed that, but he's not a 3 point guy. The league is a 3 point league, so obviously he's got pressure on him probably to try and at least make those when he's that wide open. But still, I'd dish it off if I was you. But yeah, so my point is that you're seeing a Mogbo coming in instead of Bruno Fernando, and that's improved the game. Imagine if we step up even a little further. Like, I'm not saying Olynyk is the greatest center in the league, but he's certainly a pretty solid backup center and more capable than the rookie, uh, Jonathan Mogbo. And then you even see him in the rotation there too with Davion Mitchell. He's got Davion Mitchell now not starting. He's got Scotty, the luxury of having Scotty not injured anymore with his eye. But even when Scotty was back a little bit, they were still running Mitchell out as a starter. But now they seem to have Mitchell coming off the bench. So then that's limiting Shed's minutes a bit. And again, I think Shed could potentially someday be a good guy, but let's get that guy some reps in the 905 and anywhere that we can get him minutes in garbage time, not necessarily having him out there when the game's on the line. He's a little bit small. He's a little bit, he did a nice little run though where, man, he had it off the glass. I think, yeah, he ended up with 2 points. Just a nice little quick move, but most of the time he's going to be oversized, overmatched, overwhelmed. So it's going to be much better for the Raptors to have quickly starting and then Davion Mitchell maybe coming in lesser minutes as they sort of cycle through Scotty and quickly maybe taking turns as the point guard, and then Mitchell's just kind of put in there, maybe even more for his defensive. Although again, his offense was starting to click a little bit better too. He ended up with 7 points in this game. I think he drained a three, yeah, 1 of 5. So again, I'm liking the idea of the Raptors being deeper and having a higher tiered level of player, playing more minutes, obviously. And then yeah, Bruce Brown. I mean, maybe even you could twist my arm and convince me that Bruce Brown should start. That might be interesting to have a Barnes, quickly Barrett, Jakob, and Brown. I guess Brown would then be the shooting guard, or maybe he's the small forward, and you put RJ at shooting guard. That wouldn't be too horrible. And then with Grady Dick coming off the bench, maybe Grady Dick, plays more minutes overall still than Brown, but just is there with that second unit because again, you do see some moments of when you got like what was the lineup out there? Scotty Barnes was out there. Was it Battle and maybe Mitchell? It might have been Shed, Jakob Pertl, and like Boucher or something. I don't know. It just gets a little bogged down, it seems like nobody's moving without the ball. You can tell there's no actual creativity happening where Scotty Barnes, he seems to get overwhelmed. I hate when quickly I'll end it with this. And Shed did this a couple times too, but it's mostly Scotty Barnes and even Mitchell a little bit. Boucher wanted to. It's funny, you could see that he definitely is being trained to not let the ball stop with him because it used to always, of course, and Boucher now definitely seems to be moving the ball. In fact, he had one where he sent it completely to the opposite side of the court to Agbaji, I think, who was wide open, and yeah, it was a great play. But a little bit too much ISO Scotty Barnes and Jacoby Walter. Yeah, that's the other guy. I was thinking it was Davion Mitchell. No, Jacoby Walter. This guy needs to learn. Hey, keep the ball moving there, buddy. Now, I might be wrong in a couple of years because if he can shoot, like he hit pretty decent today, 5 of 10 on the field, 2 of 4 from three. Seems to have confidence. Certainly had that little spot, which was, I don't know, 8 feet kind of just over to the right side, still kind of in the paint where he was draining them pretty regularly. So maybe I'm wrong, and this guy's going to turn into a spot up shooter from anywhere on the floor. But for now, I think that Darko says that his offense is you got like a half second kind of to decide what you're going to do with it. Now, maybe this guy's just deciding every time he gets it, I'm going to score, and that's what he seems to be doing. But yeah, I'd like to see Walter and Barnes keep the ball moving a little bit still, because until you guys can prove yourselves that you're going to drain it more than half the time, I guess. Let's just no need to clank off like the. Anyway, I don't know. There were just some bizarre plays that ended up happening where Scotty was dishing it to Jakob Hurdle, who's pushing like he's way too far out of his comfort zone. He's doing a push shot from like 12 and a half, 13, 14 feet away from the basket. It wasn't a good look. Uh, and then, Scotty Barnes has the ball at like the top of the key, just a little bit past the free throw line. And then he's looking like he doesn't know what to do. And you could hear David Mitchell, or sort of see David Mitchell behind him, must have said, "Hey, Scotty, I'm open." Because he's turning and dishing to him. But that play happened 2 or 3 times in a row. And you know that that's not what was written up, for them to execute. So anyway, Darko, stay on these guys. I can see the progress. I can see it happening. It's obviously helpful getting some of the main rotation pieces back into the lineup. Can't imagine when we may not even see it all year, but I've said it a few times. I fantasize about just seeing Dick, RJ, Quickly, Hurdle, and Barnes play together. I think they've had 4.5 minutes together, and their numbers per 100 possessions are crazy. So if they can actually pull some, time together in this lineup, we can maybe continue some momentum. And what do we want to do this year? I don't know. Do we want to be a play-in and knocked out in one year thing, or do we want to just continue to be injured and complain about the injuries all year and then end up with people flag on our team? I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me, please. Like, subscribe, comment. Really appreciate it. Oh, I'm sitting way too close to the camera. I apologize about that. Oh my gosh, I had it on a different screen. Anyway, and yeah, like the new hat this time. Look at this, baby. What? Raptors. See you guys next time. Please subscribe, like, comment, all of that stuff. See you next game.